So it looks like we're getting a new wave of Marvel Legends with a brand new Build-A-Figure, but are these the Marvel Legends that we've been wanting, Soulmates, and are they worth your money? Be sure you stick around till the end, Soulmates, because we're going to talk about what Marvel characters we'd love to see in a Marvel Legends wave next. The first action figure that we're going to look at from this wave, guys, is Power Princess, and I absolutely think that this is one of the best action figures in the entire wave. If there's one of these Marvel Legends that you want to get, I do think that Power Princess is definitely a contender. She looks just like her counterpart from the comics. The sculpt on this one is absolutely wonderful, and I think the accessories are on point, coming with a sword, a shield, and a set of extra hands. For everyone who doesn't know out there, this is essentially Marvel's version of Wonder Woman, and this essentially completes the team of Squadron Supreme. Looks like she features pinless joints, and if anything's being reused here, it is not glaringly obvious, so that is definitely nice. When you look up close on this one, you can really see the relief elements on her singlet, which is absolutely a wonderful thing to see on Marvel Legends. I am somewhat tickled that Marvel Legends is getting around to making a standard comic book Wonder Woman before DC Multiverse is, but I guess that's just the way this is gonna go. The second action figure we're gonna look at from this wave, guys, is Justice, and this one is pretty accurate to the source material overall, but a really underwhelming action figure. Looks like he comes with a set of extra hands. That's cool, but this one looks really old. It doesn't look like it belongs in 2023, it looks like belongs in 2013. I don't know, I guess he's fine if you want to complete your new Warriors team, but other than that, they gotta do something more than this if they want to charge $25 for these, because this is really weak sauce. And there's companies doing much better stuff at this price point to really justify getting this one. Literally the only reasons to get this one is to complete the Build-A-Figure, to complete your new Warriors team, or just because you love Justice. The next action figure that we're going to look at from this wave, guys, is Namorita. This one is a cool look for her, I think. It's okay. It's not like it's a terribly great action figure, I don't think. It's really underwhelming when you get down to it, because essentially it's just another repaint of a standard body, and how exciting can it really be when they do that? Her singlet is literally just painted on her body, and that's really tacky, considering that it should be a relief element on her. I don't like that at all when they do that. Besides which, I don't really think that it's the most iconic look you could possibly choose for her. It's not a bad look, but I think she's had better looks than this, and I think they just chose this one because it was nice and easy to pull off. She comes with a set of extra hands, which is fine, but once again, they gotta try so much harder than this if they want to charge $25 for these, because at this point, I'm really just looking at a $15 action figure tops. The only reason to get this one is, once again, if you're a fan of the character or you just want to have one of the founding members of the new Warriors. The next action figure we're going to look at, guys, is the Savage Namor, and this one is a pretty cool one to see because it is so very 90s. And I can't help but like it a little bit. Looks like accessories include a couple of sets of extra hands as well as a trident, and I think that overall this evokes the character from the 90s very well. I don't find any of the reuse here particularly offensive, so this is kind of a nice one to get. I don't know if he's at the tippy top of the list in terms of ones to get, but he's definitely on the nicer side of things on this wave. The next action figure we're going to look at, guys, is Black Panther, and this one is supposed to be based on the old Toy Biz Marvel Legends Black Panther. I don't find this one to be quite as nice as that one is, believe it or not. This one is just the same Vulcan body action figure that we already saw, with a few pieces that are changed around here and there. He's got some plastic bits that are tacked onto him, and it kind of looks okay, but also it doesn't really stack up to the old Toy Biz one, I don't think. To me, it's really obvious that Toy Biz tried harder with their Black Panther, whereas on this one, they're kind of just trying to evoke that same action figure without putting in the same amount of effort. It's got the facade of the Toy Biz action figure, but it doesn't have the substance. I say that this one's only worth it if you're a big fan of the Black Panther, otherwise, I don't know that you really need it. Maybe you'll want another Black Panther, maybe you need one for an Avengers display, but I don't know, this one just seems really lazy to me and I don't like it. If you support what I do, please click subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video of mine when it comes out. And if you're enjoying this video about this new Marvel Legends wave, soulmates, please give it a like because these are tough to put together and I really appreciate it. The next action figure we're going to look at from this wave, guys, is Vision, and I know that this one is going to be very popular because the aftermarket on the last Vision action figure that came out is outrageous. But even so, I am not a fan of this action figure at all. All they're really doing is just painting a bunch of stuff on top of a Vulcan body, and it smacks of laziness for what should be a really landmark character here. I feel like they should have rolled out the red carpet for Vision because Vision is such an important character, and here it just feels like they cheaped out. They did everything they could to take every shortcut they possibly could. And, I mean, you look at his boots, you can see the boot cuts on the body because they're using the Vulcan body. It looks terrible. And then you got, like, the ab crunch, which is already outdated the moment they debuted the body a while back. He needs an ab crunch and a torso swivel. He doesn't need this waist swivel and ab crunch that's so 2012. The design here is completely flat. It doesn't have any pizzazz. It needs something to make it pop, some kind of relief element. It needs some kind of sculpting, some kind of retooling, anything other than just a new coat of paint. He comes with a set of extra hands, but really, who cares? Because this is going to cost $25. And at $25, you really deserve better at that price point. Once again, this is not a $25 action figure. It's a $10 action figure with a $25 price tag. You're really better off just going and getting the Marvel Select Vision instead, because at least they tried on that release. It might not be like a perfect action figure, but at least they put some effort into it. And if you're going to pay $25 for an action figure anyway, you might as well spend another $5 and get something that's actually good. The next action figure that we're going to look at from this wave, guys, is Crystar, and this is one that I never expected to see because he's not really a character that ever makes the rounds. This character was well before my time, and I have virtually no idea who he is aside from what I've read from Wikipedia articles and a few blurbs here and there. But for what it's worth, this is a pretty nice action figure, and this is one of the best in the entire wave. This is an all-new sculpt. He comes with some pretty nice accessories here. He comes with a sword, a shield, a set of extra hands, and I have to admit, I like him, and it's good, and along with Power Princess, this one is definitely one of the ones to get. You should really consider checking this one out, especially if you are a Crystar fan. Now, the only thing I could see holding this one back is if maybe someone just doesn't know who he is, like I do. This is one of those things about the old comic book that was included with Marvel Legends back in the Toy Biz era that would be really helpful, because if they had a comic book included with this one, we could learn who the character is very easily. Now, Hasbro, in their infinite wisdom, cut out the comic books, so now they make all these obscure characters, and we have no idea who they are. And I'm not all that inclined to find out, because where do I get a Crystar comic book in 2023, other than going to eBay? Well, anyway, Crystar is cool to see, and it's a nice action figure, but only about 12 people are going to know who he is, and I hope they're happy with this one. The last action figure that we're going to look at today, guys, is the Void, and this one is the Build-A-Figure, and it is a Sentry character. One of the things that I noticed about this one when I looked up close at it is that it had pin joints, which surprised me. So I looked a little closer, and then I noticed that it looks a lot like the Movie Venom action figure. So I took a look at that one, and indeed the arms and the legs and the hands all belong to Movie Venom. Looks like the torso is new, the head is new, all the other parts are new, but yeah, he does borrow fairly heavily from Movie Venom on this one, which, you know, for a Build-A-Figure, that's really tacky. The Build-A-Figure is supposed to be the centerpiece, especially because you're spending like $150 to put them together. And for $150, come on, man. You don't want something that's going to be borrowing parts from another action figure For $150, you want something unique. Keep in mind that Movie Venom wasn't even a deluxe release. He was just a standard Marvel Legends release, and now apparently Movie Venom is the basis for the Void, which is a Build-A-Figure, and the only difference here is that he's got a bunch of tentacles on him that would make him larger than he would otherwise be, but nothing that you couldn't conceivably fit inside of a standard Marvel Legends package. I don't know, it's a neat character to see, I guess, but if this is how it's gonna go with Build-A-Figures, then maybe we don't really need Build-A-Figures anymore. Maybe the Build-A-Figure has outlived its usefulness. Maybe it just needs to get phased out and we need to focus on characters that actually need to exist instead of a bunch of obscure nonsense. I can't really say that this Build-A-Figure is worth it. I think that you should just pick and choose the ones you want from this wave and let it go. Well, Soulmates, now that we've seen this wave of Marvel Legends, what Marvel characters would we love to see next? Well, the first ones that come to mind are Daredevil villains, and one of the ones that really comes to mind first is the Owl, because I don't recall ever seeing a Marvel Legend of him, so it would be awesome to see what they can do with that character. Well guys, what do you think of these new Marvel Legends? Are these ones that you have to have for your collection? Are some of them good, but some of them not? Or are these just not really doing it for you for whatever reason? I don't know guys, let me know what you think down in the comments, and be sure you let me know what Marvel character you want to see next. If you'd like to learn more about the new Spider-Man No Way Home wave of Marvel Legends, you can check out that video here, Soulmates.